application to have Ernest Kumi convicted and sentenced to prison for his willful disobedience to the orders of a court of competent jurisdiction, that's the High Court of the Republic of Ghana. You would also recall that this case has been on since the 31st of December 2024. And the case essentially has been that Ernest Kumi, that's our case, that he was not validly elected. We followed up with a motion for interim injunction, which motion was granted for 10 days. Now, on the day that the Ernest Kumi was served with the said order, he filed an application to have it set aside. Now, the court heard the application and on the 6th of January 2025 dismissed it, and thereby insisting that he should not hold himself out as the Member of Parliament elect. He willfully disobeyed the orders of the court and went straight to Parliament and availed himself for him to be sworn in as Member of Parliament. And he has since then been calling himself out as the Member of Parliament. We are a country of rules. We decided then to petition the court pursuant and consistent with the rules of court, which is under 50 of CI 47, that he had willfully disobeyed the orders of the court. Now the case was moved, the motion was moved, and it was slated for today for ruling. Today the court, you would notice, you were all in court, that before the court gave his ruling, lawyer Gary Nimakun was on his feet and wanted to be heard, that he had filed some processes and thereby sought to stay the hands of the court from delivering his ruling. The court said, I don't recognize you. And I must say this, it is a bit shocking. And we lawyers don't usually critique one another or each other. I mean, because we have been trained not to. But I'm a bit surprised that Mr. Gary Nimakun would rise in open court in a contempt case, which we all know, we've all been trained and are aware that contempt proceedings are different from, because the standard of proof is even different. It has a different case number. And so what Ernest Kumi should have done was to either file an appearance or bring his lawyer to file an appearance. An appearance is done, it's a document that you need to file. Or because it's a quasi-criminal matter, like anybody who has gone to steal a sheep or a fowl, you have to be present in court to purge yourself of the contempt. You don't send a lawyer who has filed nothing. And you would recall that since the inception of this case, Mr. Gary Nimakun has always been coming to court, and he hasn't even filed an appearance consistent with Order 9 of CI 47. And this is serious, but we await him, and we will meet him at the Supreme Court. That's a different matter. But you see, today the court said that I don't recognize you because you are not the contemnor, you are not Ernest Kumi, and you haven't filed anything in this case. So who are you in the matter? So the court said, I won't even record you. And so that is why that arbitration happened, and then Gary had to be in his seat for the court to proceed. Now the ruling happened, and the court essentially is saying that indeed all the ingredients in all the authorities he listed proved that he willfully disobeyed the orders of the court, and that irrespective of your opinion about an order of a court, it doesn't give you the license to disobey it until it is set aside. No court, as we speak, has set aside or did set aside the interim injunction. And so he was completely out of order to disobey the orders of the court. And so the court said that when that happens, the law is clear. You need to be convicted and sentenced. And so the court today convicted him. That is, the procedure is that, you see, the court cannot give his sentence in a vacuum. So the court at this point has found him guilty. That's the meaning of the conviction. When the court says that you are convicted, it means that you are guilty of the offense. Now, because he was not in court, the court now says that he now issues a bench warrant like any other criminal. And the police, the national security, should go after him wherever he is and be arrested and brought to him in court for him to be sentenced appropriately. You would also